Hey guys, it's Sam Dawson here from Song 101, and in this video we're going to be looking at the #1 mistake beginners make when they start writing songs. Now I see this mistake quite a bit when I go into writing sessions in co-writes. Someone comes in, they do this one thing and it kind of just screams out, I'm a beginner, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want that to be you. So in this video we're going to be looking at some alternatives which we can do instead in order to become a better songwriter. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Okay, so the #1 mistake that I think beginners make when they start writing a song is that they start with the chord progression. And I know why they start with the chord progression. It's the same reason I used to start with the chord progression. It's because it's the easy thing to do. So if you've learnt the guitar, if you've learnt the keyboard, you've learnt your chords, you know which chords sound good together just sort of intuitively, and you can string some together and it feels like you've got half a song straight away just by playing 3 or 4 chords. You've got the whole harmony done, and now you just need to worry about lyrics and melody. Now I've since learned that starting with a chord progression is not such a great idea, and there's 3 main reasons why I think this. The first one is that you can reharmonize a song and it's still a song. So by this I mean you've got your lyrics and your melody, which is set on top, and you've got the chords underneath. Now you can take any song and you can reharmonize it, which is where you take out the chords and put in some new chords, and you've still got the same song. It's going to have a different flavour to it, but it's still the same song because the song is the top line. Now if you do it the other way around, if you have a chord progression and the top line and you say, right, I'm going to swap out the lyrics and bring in these new lyrics, it's not the same song anymore. If you do the same for melody, you say, I'm going to swap out this melody, bring in a new melody, it's not the same song, even though you've got the same chord progression. So the chord progression is not really a part of the song. That's the first reason. Second reason is that you're starting with something that doesn't really matter that much. The chord progression is like the background of a film. I always think in terms of films and books and things. So if you were shooting a film and you say you just started writing this and you think, right, I'm going to shoot it in Japan. Well, people will be saying, what are we going to shoot? Oh, I don't know. We'll decide it when we get there. You'd never do that. You'd never write the scene after you decide on the location. You'd decide on the scene first, who the characters are, what they're talking about, what the plot is, and then think, oh, well, this would work well in that location. And that's what the chord sequence is to the top line, to the melody and the lyrics. It's like the background. It doesn't matter all that much. It's superfluous to the main event. Okay, the third reason is that if you start with the chord progression, you're going to start to limit what you can do with the melody when you come to write it. So for instance, let's say your chord progression goes C, G, A minor, F. Really common chord sequence. When you come to write the melody, you're probably just going to follow the chords wherever they go and sing all the safe notes. So on a C, you might sing a C note, on a G, you might sing a G, and you just follow the chords wherever they go, and it doesn't create a very unique melody. And remember, the melody is the important part, that's the bit that people sing. Whereas if you start with the melody, you can just let it go wherever it wants to go. So over that chord sequence, you'd never really sing a C sharp note, but you could, if you started with the melody, you can let it go there if it wants to. And then when it does that thing that's unique, that makes the song really cool, you can bring in the chord to support it, so it doesn't sound like an accident, like you've gone out of key. You change the chord and it really supports that melody. That's what the chords are there for. Okay, so what alternative places can we start writing a song from instead of the chord progression? Well, actually, I've already done a video on this, on what I think is the best place, what I use for my starting point. I will link it up here or in the description. For me, the best place to start is the title. And the reason for this is because the title tells you where to go with everything else. It tells you what to write lyrics about. It tells you how the melody should sort of feel and what the theme of the song is, so you can have a coherent melody and coherent chords as well behind it. Now there are actually 2 other places which I don't mind when people come into writing sessions and they come in with either of these 2 things. I don't mind that. It's a million times better than chord progression. The first one is a lyric, a really cool lyric which is unique, which I haven't heard before. It can't be a stock lyric which is like, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. There's nothing there. It's got to be something, I don't know, profound, amusing, or a unique metaphor that I've not heard before, a nice play on words, something like that, which on its own, it only has to be one line, but on its own it sparks more ideas and you get an idea for what the song is about. And the other one, which I think is a good place to start, is a little bit of a melody. Now it's got to be enough to make it unique again. It can't just be like a oh oh, because that's used in so many songs. It's like we're back to the chord progression, the reason why the chord progression was no good. It's got to be a bit more lengthy, it's got to build or have some sort of structure to it to make it unique, to actually have a starting point for a song. Okay, so the three alternatives that we've got are writing from the title, which is my personal favourite, the melody and the lyrics. Either of them three are just going to be a million times better than starting from the chord progression. And especially if you're going into co-writing sessions, if you bring a really cool title, a really cool hook, a really cool lyrical idea, people are going to respect you a lot more than you going in and saying, hey guys, I've got this really cool chord progression. It goes C, G, A minor, F. Okay, that's it for the video today. I hope you found value. If you have, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We do videos like this every Friday, and I'm looking for ideas on what to do next. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And until next week, I hope you keep writing, and I'll see you soon. Adios.